Welcome back, Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic Science Classic. This is episode number 588.5. Yeah, I haven't done one of these in a long time. Yeah, I think the last time I did one of these was when I did a review of the trade that collect the last few issues for Avenging Spider-Man, when I was talking about what was on Doctor Octopus's memories. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about stuff I forgot to talk about when it comes to this particular series. Um, the first thing I forgot to talk about was the artwork for the series. Now, for the opening issues for the series, it's done by the ever awesome David Finch. Yep, of course, he was one of several artists on this series, along with Brett Booth, Doug Mankey, Christian Abbey, Dave Beatty, Keith Campaign, Scott Clark, Mark Deering, Ralph Fernandez, Richard Fiend, Tom McGowan, Norm Proman, Robin Riggins, Wilding Wong, Aldreas Gudo, Manuel Garcia. Yep. Oh, and the cover art for the initial trade is done by David Finch. Yep. And that's just in the first volume. And that's in the first 7 issues. A lot of artists. Here are the artists who did issues 8 through 14. Tom Derrick, Eddie Barrows, Doug Mankey, R.B. Silva, Diogenes Nevis, Alan Martinez, Aber Ferreira, Tom McGowan, Mark Deering, Kristen Alme, Keith Campaign, Riles Juicy, and Vincent Clofus. The cover art of this book is done by Ken Lashley and Gabe Gillespie. I think that's how you pronounce the first name. I'm sorry for mispronouncing his name. Yeah, Ken Lashley, the guy who recently did artwork for Uncanny X-Men. Yeah, during Colin Bunn's run. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else I forget besides the artwork. Yeah. It's something though, for 14 issues, you had close to 20 artists on this series, which is something. The fact that this series had that. Yep. And I will eventually talk about the Vibe series. I will talk about that and its impact on the Flash TV show. But in the case of this particular series itself, Waller herself, who was in the series, she's basically kind of Steve Trevor's boss because originally he was director of Argus, but after the events of the second arc of Justice League, he was removed as not only the director of Argus, but also the Justice League liaison, replaced by Amanda Waller for some strange reason, who did nothing with the role, with the job. Yeah, she never appeared in Justice League after she was named the liaison. She basically got this book. Yeah, this book basically was a result of the events of Throne of Atlantis. So you gotta need a second Justice League team, though a third one actually, because Justice League Dark. Yep. So that's how that series came about. Yeah, if you read like the finale of Throne of Atlantis, yeah, the final issue is basically a backdoor pilot to this very series. And if you read the opening 5 issues, it's kind of a potential if you. There was also a couple things I forgot to mention. One, they actually rescued an agent of Argus who, believe it or not, was Kronos, an enemy of the Atom, which I'm like, Kronos, a good guy. Yeah, that's a little bizarre. And then Steve Volante retconned it, basically restoring being a villain for some reason. Yeah, he's one of 2 villains. They turned into agents of Argus for some reason. The other, of course, was Dr. Arthur Light. Yeah, the guy who, in Anticrisis, raped Sue Dibney. Well, revealed the rapist of Sue Dibney. Yeah, he briefly joined the group for like 1 issue, and then he gets accidentally killed by Superman of all people. Does he get resurrected? No, kind of in a way. He does come back in Trinity of Sin Phantom Ranger, but nothing really is done. As a matter of fact, Dr. Light's not even shown up since that particular series ended. As for Kronos, after that he popped up in, of course, in Convergence and recently in the final 3 issues of Justice League America, which, by the way, are amazing. But in the case of this particular series, yeah, it's something, though, that when it comes to a particular group, now, they also, for the Secret Service villains, now, it started off with just the Outsider, Earth 3 Alpha Pennyworth, and Professor Anthony Ivo, we also added Scarecrow, the Shaggy Man, and the Signal. Yeah, that Signal. Signal Man, who is a D-list Batman, who is a C-list Batman villain. Yeah, those of you who don't know who the heck this guy is, look him up. He is one of the most interesting villains I have ever seen. Yeah, and he's not a villain who's not very well known. I think he's made like one appearance outside of the comics. Yeah, I think it was like one appearance. They even had Copperhead join the group, which I think this was his first post-Flashpoint appearance when he showed up in Just Like America. Yeah, Copperhead, the guy who got later killed off by Deathstroke. Yeah, he got killed off by Deathstroke. And this was Summer Park. Yep, Summer Park. Yeah, he first appeared in issue 4. He didn't last too long before he got killed off by, of course, Deathstroke. Yeah, of course they did have a female version of the character in All-Star Batman. But I love the fact Jeff Johns brought back the Secret Society suit villains, because at this point you gotta bring in DC's biggest, the big name suit villain team for DC Universe, which is the Secret Society suit villains. Jerry Conway creation. Check out my comic book history episode about the Secret Society suit villains. But it's weird though that after Forever Evil they've only made 2 appearances. One issue of Justice League, the main Justice League book, and of course in the Defiance arc for Deathstroke. Yeah, they show up in issue 24 and 25, and that is it. That's all they do. Of course, they bring a lot of the big A-list villains who join the group. Yeah, because at one point, the Secret Society suit villains had pretty much had, at that point, almost every single known DC suit villain to date in the DC Universe. Yeah, there's even this famous 2-page spread of issue 1 of Forever Evil where they actually show off all the villains. Yeah. Even though that if you read the one to be at first work, it's like, okay, are we gonna have more adventures? Because it seems like maybe that even though the mission was somewhat a failure, but they recover Kronos. But aside from that, it seems like okay, we're gonna have more story told, but Trinity War got in the way. Yes, that particular event. It wasn't a terrible event per se. Jeff Johns built up for the past few years. He's been built up since, I'd say, since the start of New 52 at that point, and then of course he had the event happen. One of my biggest problems with New 52 trades, and I'm sure a lot of people have had this problem, is their thing of releasing crossover trades, collecting all parts of a crossover, and then just releasing parts of the regular series in a trade. As a matter of fact, there were at least several trades that should not exist. Like, for example, the final trade that collects Action Comics Volume 2. That trade should not exist because all it has is issues of Superman, Savage Dawn, Savage Dawn, and Final Days of Superman. This one, they should have just had just the first 5 issues and just have next line have issues 8 to 14. The only theory I have, the reason why I threw it in, because I want to throw in like the whole series, which is really stupid. It is for a lot of the trades, and thank you DC River for fixing this stupid problem, getting rid of that stupid thing, and actually bothering to put these trades together properly. Now, if DC ever decided to take these 2 trades and release like a special collector edition of it, like a deluxe edition of it, they probably would only just have the first 5 issues and issues 8 to 14. But if they want to throw in issues 6 and 7, fine. But throw in also the 2-issue Justice League and the 2-issue Justice League Dark, because if you read that trade and if you didn't read Trinity War, you have no idea what the heck is going on. You won't get the complete story. Yeah, that's just my opinion on the matter. They should do it. Not just have a text review, not just a text recap of what happened in other parts. They should throw in the other 4 parts if they're going to do a collect issue of this. I mean, that'd be about 18 issues. But so what? DC have done trades longer than that. Yeah. Otherwise, so that's really it. Not much else to say I can think of. Though I think it was kind of stupid to advertise Simon Bosby in the series, but yet in the entire 14 issues, he's not there for the first 4. He does come in issue 5. He's there for the following 2 issues. He's there popping up now and again for the Forever tie, and he pops up for the last issue. 14 issues, he's only in 11. Actually, no, scratch. He's in 10 of the issues. Yeah, he's in 10 issues. Yeah, the only person I can think of who's in all 14 issues, well, I can think of is probably Martian Manhunter. Yeah, he's really the only character who pops up at all the issues. Yeah, he's the only one. Steve Trevor is actually in the first 7, absent for issues 8 to 13, and then pops up for the final issue, which, like I said, is all just set up for Justice League United. As a matter of fact, do you know what the solicit was when that issue came out? At the end of the issue, it says, "To be continued in Justice League United #1." And here's the thing. This issue came out after issue 0 did, and yet issue 0 was released before this issue was. Yeah, so yeah, that's one thing quite stupid about DC's publication is the fact they released that particular book before the end of this particular one. Yeah, that was really stupid. But this is just one of those series that's had so much potential with it, but yet DC never capitalized on it. But I do gotta praise Matt Knopf for basically sticking around for the entire run. Despite the fact Jeff Johns did start the series, he didn't bother to finish it. Though the theory revolving that the reason why he decided not to finish it is because the guy was just so busy with other stuff, and of course doing the main Justice League book. So I get the reason why he decided to leave the book as the writer after the first 7 issues, but at least Matt not managed to finish the series up. But I kind of wish we had more story when it comes to this particular series. Yeah, I kind of wish that. But in the case, and here's the thing. The Villains Month issues, there were 4 of them, and yet only 1 is collected and trade. I'm like, why in the world is that? I mean, if they ever did like a trade edition, I mean, what they should have with the Shadow Thief one, they could have put that in the Savage Hawkman trade. After all, that's where the character first showed up. Or they could, in the case of Killer Frost, they should have had that one appear in February or August because she appears in that book, but yet the trade February or August to even have Killer Frost in it. It's kind of the same thing with Forever Evil Rogues Rebellion, where they just had the main miniseries and the Rogues one-shot. And they couldn't throw in the Grodd one-shot because that takes place prior to the series, and yet you couldn't throw that in. I don't know what was up with DC at that point. Yeah, if you look at the Villains Month issues, a large number of them are not in trade at all. Yeah. So, that's really it for this particular thing. But definitely do stay tuned. I do have more videos coming. One Piece I'm definitely going to do today at some point. And as for the next Comic Corners, I'll do those tomorrow. Okay? Along with next review of Tokyo Ghoul Re. Okay? But until I see you in the next video, bye.